Hey, this is Life with Shauna Renee here, back with another video. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This video is about my life was threatened, but I was written up. Let's watch the video.
Let me tell you the story about how a resident threatened my life and I got written up for it at work. This is by far the craziest story ever, and it's something I'll never forget. So this is not super recent. This happened almost 2 years ago at this point, but y'all need to know. So I was working in property management, and a resident had just had a baby, and they called the emergency line the night before, and I guess their heat wasn't working. So the maintenance team, obviously they cannot fix your heat overnight if it's not an easy fix. So what ends up happening is they ended up giving them portable heaters, and we would have somebody come out in the morning. So, and by the way, don't judge how I curl my hair. I'm not a professional. I just do a good enough job, okay? It gets the job done, okay? Thank you. Anyway, so they gave them portable heaters. This is what we would have done for anybody. This is not something that we did because we didn't care for the particular person, none of these things. This is protocol, okay? So at this particular job of mine, we got in at 9, but the office didn't open until 10. So at this point, we're at work, and from 9 to 10, we had an admin hour. The office is completely glass. So even though the office isn't open and the lights are not on until 10, you can see that we're in there, right? So now at this point, we're sitting down doing our work, and my desk is right by the glass that's by the door. Everybody else is kind of like behind me, and there's like 2 private offices in the office. So at this point, the guy comes downstairs off the elevator and throws the heater at the glass. So I jump up because what is going on, right? So now it starts banging on the door. Open the door. Open the effing door. Open the effing door. Now, honey, not me. I don't care. There's no job in the world that's going to get me to open no door at that hour. At that, first of all, like, you're mad. I don't know if you're on drugs. I don't know what's going on here. I don't want to be a part of it. So I get up and I go to the manager. And I'm like, this man is outside of the door, and you might want to go talk to him and calm him down because I don't know what's going on. He's like, the way he's behaving, I'm not going out there. So he's the one man in the office, and he decides that he's not going to go out there, not only to see what he wants, but to defend the people that are in here, right? He's in the office, and he won't come out. Great. Fine. So the man continues to bang. Now, he leaves the front of the door. He goes into the lounge, which is a few feet away from the office, and we have a pool table. He grabs a pool ball, and he starts banging it on the glass. I'm going to kill you, B words. I'm going to kill you, B words. Call the police. Call the police. So one of my colleagues that would sit in the office with me, I said to her, I said, please call the cops. So she calls the police. At this point, shortly after that, the police come. Eventually, after the police is called, he goes out there to see what the guy wants or whatever. So the guy's trying to force himself in the office at this point. Eventually, he gets in, which this is part 1 of what should have never happened. So this guy is outside calling us all kind of names. He's going to kill us. We're worthless. We're useless. All this stuff, right? My life feels threatened. I have 2 children. I don't play like that. It's not enough money in the world. If he wants help, he needs to come in here with decency and respect. Outside of that, I can't do anything for him. So the cops come. They ask us what's going on. We tell them. At this point, he's upstairs. So they go back up to his apartment and they go talk to him. I sent an email to the 2 people that are in upper management. I sent an email. I should actually pull up the email for you guys so you guys can hear the email. Give me 1 second. All right, y'all, so I got it. I'm going to read it to you. It says, good morning, team. I hope all is well with you. This email is to notify you that at 9:35 this morning, blank resident of apartment number came to the leasing office extremely irate. He began shouting and screaming and pulling on the door for us to open the door. Me nor my colleague felt comfortable enough to let him into the office. He had a space heater in his hand, and he began yelling and shouting, what the F is this? He proceeded to throw it on the floor multiple times. He kept asking for the manager, and I went into his office asking him to please come out to defuse the situation because the resident is requesting to speak to him. My colleague decided, along with myself, to call the police. I felt extremely unsafe and got up from my desk and went to the back. I advised my colleague to do the same once she got off the phone with the police. While I was back there, he began banging on the glass with something very hard. I now know that he took a ball from the pool table and was banging it on the office window. That lasted for several minutes as he continued to scream and carry on. Maybe after 7 to 10 minutes of this behavior, the manager got up to speak with him and he forced himself in the office behind him. My colleague and I were already terrified. We felt stuck as it is, and now there's a threat, and the threat is in the office. My manager asked him what he had the pool balls for, and he said, quote unquote, to hit those bees with. I cannot continue to work under these circumstances. These residents are completely out of their minds. I understand that he didn't have heat since last night, but there's no issue that justifies the behavior that was displayed this morning. What protocol do we have in place in these situations? There's no security in the building. We don't have concierge in this building that can identify an incoming threat before we do. We are completely blindsided in these instances. If the maintenance manager isn't at work that day, our lives are pretty much in jeopardy until the police officers arrive, and that is not okay. There is one way in this office and one way out. At least the office across the street has a back door in the event of emergency. We have nothing. We live in a world where people live like they have nothing to lose, and people's lives are being taken at the hands of someone who is simply having a bad day. We have families that we have to get home to. Every time this happens, I immediately think about my children having to live without me. When the incident with another resident happened a few months ago, I had to have several therapy sessions with my therapist because I began feeling very unsafe in this office. I finally got to a place where I felt better, and now we are back to square one. Each incident gets worse. Outside of an incident report, outside of having the resident removed from the premises, what else can be done? I know there's nothing we can do to prevent this from happening because we can't control what people do. However, as employees, what do we do in this instance? How do we protect ourselves? We are extremely shaken up. Okay? This is the email that I sent. Now, let me see if I also kept the response that I received. I don't think so. I don't have it. But it basically was like something very short. Like, we received your email. Give us some time to look into it and we'll get back to you. Something like that, okay? So, the cops come, they question us. They don't do anything about it, sadly, but not shockingly, considering the neighborhood, the type of people. But anyway, so nothing gets done about this. So whatever, we continue to work for the rest of the day, just trying to be safe, and the resident doesn't apologize. His wife comes down, which she looks like she be being tossed around in that house, to be honest with you, because she mouthed, like, from the elevator, like, I am so sorry. Like, girl, like, it gave, like, girl, I know he's crazy, but I'm sorry y'all had to experience that. That's what it gave, right? Okay, cool, no problem. So, the next day comes. We come to work, business as usual. We try not to make a big deal about what happened the day before. Both of these upper management people that received that email, they showed up to the job. And they said they want to have meetings with each of us. Me, my colleague, and the manager that was on duty that day. So we're like, okay, what's going on? I want you to know that they had meetings with each of us. And they had disciplinary action forms filled out because we failed to provide adequate customer service to the resident because we wouldn't open the door for him. And had we opened the door, that issue would have been prevented. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Me, I was supposed to get up and not knowing the severity of the situation, none of the details because I don't work for maintenance. So that was the first time I even heard about his work order. This is minutes into us getting into the building. I was supposed to get up and open the door with an irate crazy man on the other side of the door? I don't think so. So she had papers. She wanted each of us to fill it out. I refused to fill it out. I'm not filling this out because I didn't do anything. So I'm sorry, but I'm not. At that moment, I decided, yeah, I won't be working here anymore. Safe to say, I don't work there anymore. But it just goes to say, like, you know, you have to be careful because we work for these companies and we put our blood, sweat, and tears. We cater to the people. You know, you make bonds with your colleagues. You make relationships with the residents. You make sure everybody's well taken care of. And the least they could do is guarantee your safety or do something to make you feel like they have your back. But instead, you write me up as if I did something wrong. Let me tell y'all. To this day, this is like probably almost 2-3 years ago at this point. Till this day, I think about it and I get shaken up because to work for somebody like that is terrifying. It's so terrifying. And these employers are failing their employees on a regular basis. And did I escalate it? Did I reach out to HR? Did I reach out to the parent company of the... Yes, I did. And nobody did anything.
There should have been proper protocol when it came down to this man coming down there with a space heater, hitting the door, and thinking that saying that he gonna kill people and all that kind of stuff. Hurt people and all. There should have been some type of protocol to help you keep yourself safe, because at the end of the day, management is management, but they're supposed to be able to look out for their staff, and they weren't doing that in that time. And I feel like the letter that you sent was proper, and I just feel like it is best that you keep up with it, because you don't want to go through this again with a different place, but to always check every place you work at for the protocol in case someone comes at you and you don't get written up for some crap. That's not fair. What do y'all think about this video? This was I feel so bad. I'm so happy that she got another job, because I wouldn't stay in that type of like situation. I'm just not. I'm not putting my life on the line because somebody else is having a bad day because their apartment is cold. That's not okay. Do better. All right, let's watch another video. But this is Life with Shauna Renee, and more videos on the way. Thank you for 1,494 subscribers. More videos on the way. Keep watching my shorts and my videos, and I hope and pray I can get to monetization. Being monetized is something that I am trying to work towards, but I've been taking so many breaks off of YouTube that But if you watch this whole video all the way through, I'm gonna always give you like a code word. And if I know that you said the code word, then I know you watched the video all the way through. The code word today is cloud. So, let's see if you comment below.